Hello.
All right, so this will be the actual first podcast.
Okay, so are we actually going now?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to run out of material before this actually starts.
No, it's going. It's
Oh,
been
well,
going.
that's good. Hello, everybody.
Hi,
I'm Josh,
I'm Kurt.
and this is our podcast.
It's basically just a bunch of talking and rambling.
So, in other words, it's a podcast.
Yes, it's just going to be a bunch of talking and rambling.
My expectation to this is that we get more thumbs up or likes than dislikes. The reality is probably more dislikes than likes.
Or everything can just kind of break even and we don't get any views.
True. That is also what's probably going to happen. So yeah.
So, we originally had planned to do a podcast back, oh man,
Before Christmas? It was
way
like
before Christmas, because it was when the
November.
Battlefront beta just
so it was-
ended. Because we were going to talk about how the Battlefront beta and our expectations and what we think the full game is going to be like. And then we recorded it, and I just never edited it.
So yeah. So now this is, I guess, our unofficial podcast. As I think we titled it, the unofficial podcast. So, yeah, this is sort of our thoughts. Probably gonna be good.
Hopefully.
That's the idea.
Hopefully, maybe.
All right. So
I guess we're going to start talking about the Division. I guess it's going to be like the first thing on the list.
The first thing that we're going to talk
The
about.
first thing is the Division beta.
So yeah, with the division, so that comes out March 8th, I believe. I'm kind of doing this one off the top of my head.
Look, give me a second here. I've got a giant list right here.
Actually, I have it saved in my calendar.
And you say March?
Yeah.
March 8th, yes.
Oh, that's right.
4 days after Twilight Princess remake.
Oh, isn't that nice?
So there's a reason I have the list up, and we'll get to that later. But you actually played the alpha.
Yes, I played the alpha, I played the closed beta, and then I played the open beta. So I am super psyched. The alpha and the closed beta, I had a blast with. I know content-wise they were a little light, which was understandable, especially with the alpha having come out. But still, nonetheless, graphics-wise, I was super stoked with just the general idea behind the Division, and as well as once I actually got to play the closed beta and the rest of my friends could play it with me, that's when I actually had the most fun, just being able to venture around New York and playing with other friends, and then actually using going to the Dark Zone. A huge fan of the Dark Zone. I'm not someone that likes to play competitive multiplayer half the time because I think I'm good, and then reality hits me very hard when
Like
I play.
a bullet?
Yes-ish. Yeah.
I like the Dark Zone.
I wouldn't know how reality hits like a bullet because I've never actually been hit with
by
a
reality.
bullet.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well,
But-
I like the Dark Zone too. I think the Dark Zone is probably one of the main things that the game has going for it. Like, from the moment you enter it. Because I remember when we tried to go into the Dark Zone for the first time, you had already been there, I think, beforehand. Right. And when I finally got my hands in the beta, went to go into the Dark Zone, and everybody else was too high of a level, so they threw me into a separate Dark Zone than everyone else. Long story short, I banded up with a bunch of other random people who took me under their wing, and I appreciate them for not killing me. I had no idea what I was doing, so I pretty much just stood there, and they were like, "We're not going to shoot you." And I was like, "All right, that's great."
yeah. And then, well, in my little land of higher level Dark Zoners, we were just trying to stay alive and being attacked. It was a good time. It's the very few times that I ever feel very, like, a lot of suspense when you're in an area like you shouldn't be. And just trying to get to your extraction zones, getting your items out of there before some other guy comes along and just shoots you in the back and then takes your items. So there was a lot of like white knuckle moments when I was just like, come on, get here, or hurry up, helicopter, come on, get here. So I am super psyched for March 8th.
I think actually my favorite moment was after we looted that gang of people. So there were a bunch of people that went rogue. We killed them. You guys had the stuff. I had nothing. And there are actually, if you guys haven't played it or you don't know much about the Dark Zone, there are designated drop zones where a helicopter comes in after a certain amount of time. You shoot a flare, it comes in, and you have to attach the gear you got in order to keep it for the actual main game. And so they had all this stuff, and me not having anything, I was like, hey, I might as well be cannon fodder, because they called in a helicopter. We're like, well, let's see if they're either friendly or not friendly, because you never really know. So I walked up into the group of people, and I did the emote of like, hey, I'm friendly, don't shoot me. And luckily they didn't shoot me, and everybody could do stuff. But it was very tense towards the end, because you could tell that the rope dropped down and everybody was just very hesitant. And then everybody booked it all for the rope at the same time just to get their stuff out of there. And then everyone just stood there like, oh.
I think one of my favorite Dark Zone moments was I was playing with another friend of mine who, hey, maybe he'll join us on this podcast if ever this becomes popular enough. We can even have a separate little segment that we've thought about for a while. But I was playing with him. Kurt, I think, was working, so he wasn't on.
That's me.
So we literally we had like a lot of pretty good loot. We had a couple green items and we had a couple blue items with us, and so we were like, we saw that someone had launched a flare up, so we're heading to that area, and we look, and it was a pretty good group of people at this drop zone. And I remember everybody was kind of just looking at each other, guns drawn. Everyone's just kind of like a suspense moment. And so people were getting ready in case someone just started shooting. And so the rope drops, and we're all rushing to get to our stuff on the rope. And then like someone accidentally threw a grenade. And then the next thing you know, just all hell just broke loose, because one grenade goes off and then like someone went rogue, and then next thing you know is just this huge shootout all happening in this one little area as we're trying to get our packages onto the helicopter. That was one heck of a moment in the game. So I'm like, again, I'm super stoked for this March. It's probably, I would say this is probably going to be one of my big games for the year.
Top game of the year. You're going to call it now, game of the year?
Oh, I'm not going to say game of the year yet.
No.
We still got Halo Wars coming up.
That's not going to get game of the year. I'm talking like in the grand scheme of things.
Hey.
My honest opinion, taking my bias out of it, I think Uncharted 4 is going to take game of the year.
Before I even start thinking game of the year, I'm going to take time off for E3. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to stream the crap out of that, and then I'll see where I am for game of the year at that point. But as of right now, of all games that I've seen, The Division is the one that I'm most looking forward to.
Division is fun. So kind of piggybacking off of that, we figured we'd go over a few games that are coming out in this spring. I have a list of the entire year. We could run through that really fast. It's a lot of games. So I'll list off releases I think are interesting for the most part. So February, pretty much everything's out already in February because it's the end of February, as we're recording this.
Isn't today the leap day? Yeah.
Today?
Oh, no, tomorrow's the leap day.
It's a leap year?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
29th, tomorrow.
So Far Cry Primal came out this month. Didn't look at it.
Yeah.
It didn't look interesting to me. Far Cry 3 was actually the last time I had fun in a Far Cry game. I liked the entire premise behind it. Like the tattoos do different stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I liked that. And then, so I was just kind of reading through here, and there's one called Rainbow Moon for the PS4, and I was like, oh, yeah, it sounds like Harvest Moon in a way.
It sounds like Sailor Moon to me.
But you pull up the cover art, and it looks like a combination of Final Fantasy and Fire Emblem. Like, if you were to combine the two, that's essentially what you get.
Is it a phone release? It kind of looks like...
No, it's a PS4 release.
Oh, it looks
really stupid.
it looks like something you'd get on an old mobile phone, like a flip phone.
Like the, what was that? Vcast? Like the old Verizon Vcast. What was it? Was it called a Vcast phone?
Well, that was
It was
That
like
was a
the really
different-
old one where I always remember that they had Prince of Persia
Oh, I still have mine.
and
I still
like
have my flip
Splinter
phone.
Cell.
I have my flip phone, and it's got Sonic on it. Because I used to just play that.
Man, I wish I'm trying to look it up right now. I don't remember the name of it.
Well, I think VCast was a Verizon thing.
Yeah, but there was a certain one because I remember it had a screen in the middle and it had all the buttons on the side. It almost looked like a Game Boy.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I just can't remember the name of it. Was it a Motorola or a Sony Ericsson?
No, it was not a Sony Ericsson. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up. But anyway, I digress. So March, this Far Cry Primal hits PC. We have Mortal Kombat, something I'm actually looking forward to, but I won't actually probably pick up, or I'll pick it up. I won't play it. It is going to be Twilight Princess HD remaster. I'll pick it up. I won't play it, much like the Wind Waker.
Probably. I was gonna say you could stream it, but then
I don't have time to stream.
Ever see that?
Need for Speed is coming out for the PC.
It's a T-Mobile phone.
It is a T-Mobile phone? Okay.
It's the Sidekick.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
I only know that, how to look up the name, because I used to be obsessed with a show called Veronica Mars, and she used the Sidekick 2 in it. So I had to Google search Veronica Mars cell phone, and sure enough, I found a Yahoo answer page.
So one thing that we kind of talked about before we started recording, because I was just kind of scrolling through the list, Resident Evil 6 is getting re-released.
The re-release.
I never played it. I played the demo.
I played
and I was
one
like,
of the remakes.
They're going too action-y. Resident Evil 4 was my favorite.
I literally played the remake, and then within like the first hour, I was like, all right.
March 25th, we have Hyrule Warriors Legends for the 3DS.
I'll probably get that.
I'll pick that up.
Does that got local multiplayer? Because I don't think it has Wi-Fi multiplayer. Does it have any multiplayer?
Yeah, it has multiplayer. I think it only works with a Wii, though. I think that's how it's working. I'm almost positive. Hyrule Warriors.
So that's going to make me sad.
Well,
you'll probably have to have 3DSs to play it with somebody. Our luck.
Probably. Any official statements? Let's see. Yay, Wikipedia. Nope. There's no official word. So I don't know.
There's like box art?
Nope.
There's no box art?
No. It's just like waiting. April. April, I think, is going to be my personal favorite month.
Oh, gee, I wonder why that is.
No. So, yes, Uncharted 4 comes out, which I'm super psyched for. But on top of that, Dark Souls 3 comes out. Woohoo. As well as Quantum Break. And I'm really excited for that.
Quantum Break, I'm looking...
It's going to be another...
That's one of those I'll see. I might get it. I might not. I don't know yet.
Well, I know right now, if you buy it or you pre-order it or something like that, you actually get Alan Wake.
American Nightmare.
Nope, you get Alan Wake, the full game, too.
Oh, because the only thing that I've seen
on Xbox, you get American Nightmare. If you buy it, like, for example, out of Best Buy, you get Alan Wake, the original game, with all the DLC and stuff, which is awesome because Alan Wake is probably my favorite narrative game of all time. And then, of course, like I said, Uncharted 4, Star Fox Zero.
Oh, it's not the Wii U?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
last
really
time
looking
I
forward to
looked
that.
at that, it didn't look so good. It was like E3.
1 month away from E3, so in May, we're looking at Battleborn, Doom, a new Homefront game, which I never played the first one, and Mirror's Edge.
I never beat the first Mirror's Edge. I can understand why people are super excited about another Mirror's Edge, which is funny because I guess I was looking on 9gag and someone made the connection that the evil villain in Mirror's Edge 2 looks like the CEO of EA. So I thought that was kind of funny. Oh, darn. What was the... I'm trying to think if there's another game that you just listed besides Mirror's Edge. Oh,
Homefront?
Yeah. Homefront.
Doom.
That one I'm kind of looking forward to because I played...
The first one flopped.
No, it did relatively well. It's the studio that owned it that flopped. Actually, like the 3 studios that owned it flopped because one got it and then they couldn't continue working on it, and then the other studio got it, and then they couldn't continue working on it. So we'll see. Normally when a game switches hands so many times, it does terrible when it releases. Duke Nukem. But we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe this
June, there's literally nothing. There's Ark, so
Right.
Survival Evolved, but
We
that's
got
E3
E3,
month.
so-
That is E3 month. But for stuff that's actually coming out, Gears of War Ultimate Edition finally hits PCs. So that's kind of cool. I still need to play it. No Man's Sky. I think I think I am going to get that. Just because it looks interesting. I really don't know what it's about. I haven't looked at anything.
literally
other
just
than,
explore the universe.
hey, sounds good to me.
So you'll play like an hour of it.
And then July to December is literally like the list. You have Gears of War 4,
Oh, yeah.
the beta, Halo Wars 2,
So
Deus Ex,
excited for
Mankind Divided, and Pokken Tournament, which is Pokemon Tekken, which I don't know why they're doing that.
I'm looking forward to Pokemon. Was it Go? The mobile
Yep,
app?
I am
Like,
looking forward to that too.
They need to come up with more information for that because I want to go catch Pokemon. I mean,
Mass Effect Andromeda.
I doubt that's coming out this year.
I don't think so either. It's something they announced.
Well, they announced that a while
And
back.
why Horizon Zero Dawn?
Oh, that's the robot dinosaur game.
Oh, yep.
I think it's Gorilla that's making it.
Scalebound, that got pushed back,
Yep.
I guess. I didn't know that. And that is pretty much everything that's coming out this year.
I am looking forward to Halo Wars 2. I'm like really super excited for when they
Terrible
do
at
the.
RTSs.
Well, it's a simple RTS.
Yeah.
It's not too complicated, and I'm really looking forward to them coming out with the backwards compatibility for it when that drops because I really want to play it. Matter of fact, I put it in my Xbox 360 last night, and I played like the first 2 missions in it because I really, really, really wanted to play it. So I'm really looking forward for that to come out because I would love to play that through again. And what was really cool with that is they not only had a campaign and it was actually a story that was worth like playing through, but you could play it through with a friend. So it was an RTS that you could play co-op. Mm-hmm. So that I always absolutely loved. I was sad that the studio Ensemble had to close like directly after making that game, but as a final game, they did a fantastic job.
I agree. Although I'm really terrible at RTSs, so that's why I'm kind of not really looking forward to it. You got emails? Thanks. Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to a few games. One game, actually, that's not even on this list, but something I want to get at some point is, what is the name of that game?
Wow, what's it about?
Firewatch?
Oh, yeah.
That looks really interesting. I heard it was a great game. Again, one of those like narrative type games where it's like not much happens,
Yeah.
but
I bought Esther forever ago on Steam, and I finally beat that a couple months ago. It only took me forever. I didn't realize there was a save button because they didn't actually put that anywhere in the game that you could save it.
that's good.
And then when I was on their website and I found that they're like, oh, press this button and it will save the game. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that would have been helpful to know forever ago. But that was a really good, if you want like a really cheap but like really, really good game that just tells you a story, there's literally no like violence in it. You literally just walk around an island and the guy will start narrating like his backstory and stuff like that. It gets really, really, really good. And it's a very beautiful game, and the music is amazing. Love the music.
Scores. That's what makes a lot of games. Hitman. That's also coming out. I'm kind of excited.
Like,
I was never a fan of Hitman, but the way that they're doing this, it sounds different. I don't have the patience.
There was only ever one like Hitman game that I ever played. I don't remember which one it was.
I bet you it was Blood Money.
But I remember it was a pretty cool mission. You had to like assassinate some military leader in an office during like a meeting, and so you essentially had to sneak to the building across the street from where he was. And as you scoped in, you had to, over the radio, someone would keep giving you more and more information so you could narrow down who it was that you need to kill. But then, like, you also had to be careful because the meeting could end at any moment. So, like, you'd start narrowing down, like, the person's right-handed, they're bald, they wear glasses, and then you just, based off of all the information you had to just take a shot as soon as you could. That one was a pretty cool one. I don't remember which one that was. I remember it was a snowy level. I kind of want to say it was in Russia. But I cannot remember. You started in the subway. I remember that because I remember walking out of the subway and then immediately being killed many, 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 many times. Apparently, if you're bald and you have like a tattoo of a serial number on the back of your neck and you wear a red tie, that immediately makes you suspicious when exiting a subway in what I presume is Russia. So, yeah.
Awesome. So where do you want to go from here? Silence.
Yeah. Well, don't you have more?
More of a list?
So there's...
That's literally it. Battle... So, actually, this was what I was just reading today. Battlefield 5.
Oh, the World War I?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Because I didn't read where the source came from, but I'm a little skeptical just because, like World War I it would be interesting to see where they would go from there with World War I, because that's one of those battles that not really anybody ever shows or like redoes or just makes a game based off of it, because I don't know, World War II was always you had I was about to say you had Germany against practically the entire world, but that was also World War I. So yeah, maybe it's not necessarily the entire game is World War I. Maybe there's only going to be like a small section, kind of like what they did with like Bad Company 2. Now that I would love to see another Bad Company
3. I don't think they will. I really don't think so.
I feel like they made news about that not that long ago.
What, a Bad Company 3?
A Bad Company.
Bad Company.
But on another news for DICE, Battlefront. So we kind of mentioned that we talked about the beta here at the beginning of the podcast. But one of the big things is, so now the game's out. A lot of people are playing it. Some people are playing it on an opposite console, apparently. Not playing it on the Xbox like I am. So yeah, I won't mention who that is. But, so EA finally came out with what they're going to be doing here in the next year with Battlefront. If I say Battlefield from here on, I'm probably actually meaning to say Battlefront. So, but yeah, there's some cool maps that are going to be coming out here soon. They've already started launching some free content. They finally fixed, what was it, Luke and Han on Hoth, so now they're not wearing the inappropriate outfits, but they're wearing their actual Hoth outfits. So that's pretty cool. As a Star Wars fan, I'm pretty psyched about that. But so in March, you got the first official DLC coming out for that, which is supposed to be the Outer Rim. I haven't seen any pictures really of what they're going to be doing in those Outer Rim matches, other than I think there's like a Jabba the Hutt map and then like a Bespin like facility that you can fight inside. So it'll be kind of cool to start seeing like indoor battles. Not that I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of big outdoor battles like the Hoth missions and stuff like that. But it will be kind of cool to start seeing like inside facilities. At some point here, you're gonna have the Death Star. I'm looking so incredibly forward to that one.
I kind of am.
I'm looking forward to any of the battles that take place in the Death Star. I would love if they did like the fighter squadron outside of the Death Star.
That'd be cool.
I think that would be pretty cool.
They should have it be like so you can pick up a power up that fires like the main.
That fires the Death Star.
Right.
Yeah.
Like fires the cannon. But the real cool thing is like have it between it and a planet or a moon or something, and have it blow up the moon so that way then you're flying through like an asteroid belt.
Now it would be really cool, and I doubt this is going to happen, but it'd be a stretch of like the imagination if they could do it, and I would love it, is if they did both a battle in which you had people inside the Death Star fighting, and you'd have individuals outside of the Death Star flying like attack runs. And like the whole point is to destroy the Death Star. So then you'd have like Imperial forces inside the Death Star trying to arm it and fire at Yavin, while you had a group outside trying to work their way into the Death Star to stop them, as well as you have the team like attacking the trench. I think that would be a really cool concept.
Would. The one thing I was really hoping for was something very similar to that, so you can jump in both like in the sky and other stuff like that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I look forward to when they come out with like Battlefront 2, because that's going to happen, and it's going to have a lot of the new Star Wars stuff in it. I know EA has been and DICE has been very specific that this Battlefront is to take place during the classic trilogy timeline, so I know that's why we're not seeing any of the prequel stuff. I'm kind of hoping that, because if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, so they have a movie coming out at the end of the year, right around the time that this Death Star DLC is launching, called Rogue One. And the whole premise of that is it's a movie that takes place during the original trilogy timeline. So I'm kind of hoping that if anything, if they do movie tie-ins like they did with Jakku, they do a tie-in with that Rogue One movie, because I think that would be really, really interesting. They could do like those little training missions. You could have a couple training missions based off of Rogue One. You could have new like survival missions kind of thing. So I think that would be a really cool idea, is to tie in Rogue One with Battlefront, because again, it still at least falls within the timeline of the original trilogy.
Yeah. So this is the thing though, they're coming out with new heroes. What do you think they're going to be? I think Chewbacca's going to be one of them. But other than that, I have no idea.
Well, they could do Chewbacca. There's one part of me that thinks Yoda, because at least when it comes to heroes, it would be interesting if they could do Admiral Akbar.
Why would they do that?
Because if you think on the grand scheme of like heroes, they've already used up pretty much at least the main character. So they'd have to grab a character that you're not really expecting, like Admiral Akbar. I mean, his power-up could be just saying it's a trap over and over and over again.
It's a trap. And then he just blows up.
Well, I wouldn't want him to blow up. That's not canon.
Not that anything really is anymore.
For villains, that would be kind of interesting, because, again, you'd think original trilogy, they'd have to get, like, IG-88, because he's officially canon.
Is he?
Yeah, because he's in Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader talks to him and a bunch of other bounty hunters.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So he could be in it. Trying to think of other like villain-esque characters.
That's the thing, though. I can't think of any villains that would.
Jabba the Hutt. I mean, he could just like squash people,
slop around.
Yeah.
He's like blub, blub, blub.
He'd have his protocol droids attack you.
That'd be great.
Actually, it'd be kind of cool if they did like R2 as a hero. It'd be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how he would play.
He'd have a little jetpack like Boba Fett, just fly around, zapping people with like a little teeny zapper thingy. Good times.
That'd be cool. I don't know. Battlefront's okay.
I love it.
It's repetitive. It's really repetitive. But then again, what was the name of the game that just came out? Hold on, I'm looking for it.
The name of the game that just
it came out and it flopped because people said that it was terrible.
Rainbow Six.
More recent than that. Oh, so the Assassin's Creed Chronicles.
Oh.
It was like a Russia one, and they said it was like terrible. Like, if you could take how hard like Dark Souls is, that's how hard it was.
Yeah.
It was like unforgivable, unrelenting. I don't remember the exact word that I'm trying to use there.
I'm excited that they're not coming out with an Assassin's Creed this year. I say give it a break for at least a year. I loved Syndicate. I've been playing Syndicate. I haven't really played much of it in a while. But I love the whole England time period and just like walking down the street. I really wish they had done a little bit more of England that's familiar. Like, it would have been cool to see London Tower and Tower Bridge in the game, because I think they could have done some cool stuff with that. So I was a little sad that it's in a different part of London that didn't have that in it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's still pretty cool. I just love that time period. Like, if there was ever a moment I could go back in time and live in that time period, it'd be that time period.
Me too. With the Victorian era.
Good times.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know. What do you think is the one game that people are wanting to do really well, but then it flops? Like, what do you think that is going to be so overhyped that it's going to fall flat in comparison? You're going to say Uncharted, aren't you?
I wasn't. I was thinking Uncharted, but Naughty Dog at least is one of those companies and one of those studios where they wouldn't release a game unless they were really sure on it. Not that I've never actually beaten. No, I beat Uncharted 2. I got to the end of the first Uncharted, and I got to the end of the third Uncharted, or at least I think it's the end of the third Uncharted. I was on like I was trying to get aboard the plane. That's all I remember.
That is not
the third Uncharted.
Close to the end, but not the end. There's a lot more after that. Plane crashes. Spoiler.
Well, yeah, you figured that one out just by looking at the case.
True.
Plus, if you play the second one, it's like the train all over again.
No.
Oh, let me guess. You don't button mash while you try to not fall out of the plane.
You don't. You don't. You just literally fall out of the plane.
Okay. So,
grab onto a crate.
Yeah.
That's how you survive.
That doesn't sound like the train at all.
Zubat. I just saw a picture of a Zubat. That's why I said Zubat. I promise you it was there.
On my computer or
on yours?
Oh, it's probably because they announced Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yep. Which they didn't release anything. Right there. There it is. Yeah. Zubat. The most annoying video game characters.
Oh.
Yep.
Let's see how that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I literally have nothing else to say.
I don't really have it. How long? Did we actually do more than 10 minutes?
I won't know until the very end.
Oh.
We're at about 993 seconds.
Oh, really? That doesn't do in, like...
It's in bars. So...
Well, that's interesting.
We're at like 16 minutes?
You gotta be kidding
If I did that math correctly?
No,
it feels so much longer than that. Jesus.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, so we'll probably end up doing another one of these very shortly.
Let us know what you guys want to hear.
Yeah, because we literally have no idea. We're making lists.
We think of things, and then we think that it's going to take us longer to talk about it, and then we actually talk about it.
And then we don't.
And then we talk about it quicker than we expect to talk about it. Hopefully you like hearing my voice. I know I don't tend to like to hear my own voice, so I probably won't listen to this after we get it all done and ready and send it out. But yeah.
All right. So we'll see you guys, or talk to you guys. Talk to you guys. Or girls.
People.
We'll talk to you people.
Places. Things.
And things. Yeah. If you're a stop sign watching this, you go stop sign.
How are they watching it? Wouldn't they be listening to it?
They would. They would be listening to it.
All right.
Signs can listen.
So you have a good one.
Bye 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 bye.